Behind every record-breaking auction lies a story that almost sounds impossible. How can a single pigeon be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a sports team's annual budget? Today, we uncover why Asian buyers are spending millions on racing pigeons, and once you understand what drives this obsession, you will never look at the value of a pigeon the same way again. The world of racing pigeons is not just a sport. It is an empire built on heritage, precision, and pride. When people hear of a pigeon selling for over $1 million, they often laugh, thinking it is some form of extravagance or madness. But to fanciers who truly understand the game, these birds are not pets. They are athletes, investments, and living symbols of mastery. Every feather, muscle, and line in their pedigree tells a story of generations bred for speed, endurance, and an unbreakable drive to return home. The price tag does not come from luck. It comes from proof. Proof that the bird has flown, won, and produced results that cannot be faked. The modern fascination began when Belgian and Dutch pigeons started dominating the racing world decades ago. These were the birds that built the legends, names that became brands on their own: Hubin, Janssen, Verstraete, Harriman Schusters. Their pigeons clocked early, won consistently, and proved that breeding could shape champions. As the sport grew beyond Europe, Asia took notice. Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, and Japan built racing clubs larger than anything Europe had ever seen. With the growth came competition, and with competition came money. In Asia, pigeon racing became a mark of prestige. Owning a top pigeon was like owning a piece of power, a symbol of wealth and success. The story that shocked the world was the sale of New Kim in 2020. Bred in Belgium, she was auctioned for an unbelievable $1.9 million to a Chinese buyer. She was not just any bird. She was a national winner, bred from a proven family with generation after generation of success. What made this sale even more fascinating was that her buyer, known by the nickname Super Duper, was not purchasing a bird to race, but to breed. Her offspring could sell for hundreds of thousands, each carrying a piece of her genetic legacy. In the world of elite pigeon racing, bloodline is everything. The logic behind these purchases is simple. A champion pigeon is not just an individual, it is a factory of future winners. When a top pigeon proves itself in competition, its value multiplies because of what it can produce. Buyers are not paying for one pigeon, they are paying for the potential of dozens of offspring that can each bring success and fortune. It is like owning a stallion that wins the Derby. The value lies not only in the trophy, but in the generations of racers that follow. In Asia, where fanciers often compete for massive cash prizes and national pride, the right bloodline can change fortunes. The breeding process in this world is intense and scientific. Fanciers study pedigrees as if they are ancient manuscripts. They analyze wing shape, eye color, feather texture, and muscle tone. Every small detail matters. Breeders test combinations over years, sometimes decades, looking for that perfect balance between speed and endurance. When they find it, they protect it like gold. That is why top pigeons sell for such extreme prices. They represent years of effort, knowledge, and proof that the bloodline works. You are not just buying a bird, you are buying time, expertise, and the confidence that comes from proven results. But it is not just science that drives these prices. Emotion plays an equal part. In China, pigeon racing is a cultural statement. It combines competition, tradition, and respect. Owning a champion pigeon brings honor not just to the individual, but to their entire family. The sport's history stretches back over 1,000 years in Asia, where pigeons were once used to deliver messages across empires. That historical connection gives the bird a deeper meaning. When a fancier wins a race, it is not just a personal achievement, it is a continuation of an old and respected art. The pigeons represent discipline, dedication, and the beauty of perseverance. Another reason prices climb so high is exclusivity. Only a handful of people in the world can breed or own pigeons of such caliber. When one of these birds comes to auction, competition is fierce. Buyers from around the world bid not only for the bird itself, but for status. The auctions are often televised or live-streamed, and the winning bidder gains instant recognition within the community. It is prestige, business, and passion rolled into one moment. For some, paying millions is a way to claim a place at the top of a world few understand. The training and care of these elite pigeons are another reason their value skyrockets. They live in lofts that are cleaner and more controlled than most laboratories. Airflow, humidity, light, and nutrition are all measured and adjusted daily. Feed is mixed with precision, combining the right balance of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins depending on the race schedule. Birds are conditioned like Olympic athletes, with rest days, recovery sessions, and calculated distances. Every toss, every clocked time is recorded. When a pigeon wins repeatedly under such programs, it becomes a living blueprint for success. In Asia, particularly in China, the races themselves have evolved into massive events with enormous financial rewards. Some races carry prize pools worth millions. Fanciers invest heavily because a single win can change everything. The pressure to find or breed the ultimate racer has created an economy where money, genetics, and prestige mix in powerful ways. For the wealthiest, the purchase of a record-breaking pigeon is both a competitive and symbolic act. It says, "I own the best." It is not different from a collector buying a Picasso or a rare diamond. The value is not only in performance, but in what it represents. Interestingly, the fascination is not just among the rich. Across Asia, pigeon racing is followed by millions of everyday enthusiasts. Clubs are full of young people learning from masters, studying bloodlines, and dreaming of breeding their own champions. The millionaire auctions may dominate headlines, but they inspire a generation of upcoming racers who see what is possible. In many ways, these massive sales keep the sport alive by drawing attention and excitement to it. The economic impact from these high-profile sales is massive. Feed companies, auction platforms, veterinary services, and equipment makers all benefit. The pigeons that sell for millions create business opportunities for thousands. A single famous pigeon can influence breeding trends across continents. When a buyer pays top price, it sets a benchmark for others, lifting the entire market's value. This is how the sport sustains itself and grows. Behind every million-dollar sale are hundreds of small lofts dreaming to produce the next big name. There is also an emotional reason these sales touch people. Fanciers see in pigeons something pure. A bird cannot cheat, talk, or pretend. It wins by flying, by returning home no matter how far it is sent. That loyalty, that determination speaks to something deep in human nature. When someone spends millions on a pigeon, they are not just buying feathers and bones. They are buying a piece of that spirit. They are paying for the connection between human effort and animal instinct, between ambition and heart. Still, critics question the morality of such extreme prices. They ask whether it is right to turn a bird into an object of wealth. But for those inside the sport, the answer is simple. The money is not about excess. It is about respect. The bird has earned its place through performance, through breeding, and through the dedication of generations of fanciers. It symbolizes what happens when patience and skill meet passion. To them, spending a fortune is a tribute to excellence. At its core, pigeon racing remains one of the purest tests of endurance and intelligence in the animal world. No machine or trick can guide a pigeon home. Only instinct, strength, and willpower decide the result. When a bird repeatedly beats thousands of others, it becomes legendary. That is the value behind the millions. It is the price of perfection, measured not in money, but in miles, effort, and faith. So why do Asians pay millions for racing pigeons? Because they see what many do not. They see heritage, mastery, and the chance to create something lasting. They see a sport that combines science and soul. To them, a champion pigeon is not an animal, it is a legacy. It carries bloodlines shaped by human dedication, traditions passed through generations, and a promise of greatness yet to come. Because to them, it is not about money. It is about respect for what is rare, pure, and unrepeatable. That is the true value of a champion pigeon.